arguably the most critical pay-per-view in the history of TNA wrestling might be Bound for Glory 2013. And it was very critical because everything that was happening with TNA in the year of 2013, with all of the cuts, the layoffs, the lacking attendance, the stupid booking decisions, it was very critical that this show delivered and that this gave people a reason to watch TNA wrestling. So, because of that very reason, I ordered TNA Bound for Glory, and man oh man did this show suck. Bound for Glory 2013 had a large chance, a big chance, to get me interested, and it did no such thing. In fact, if anything, that caused me to just not give a damn about TNA anymore, honestly. Bound for Glory 2013, when you look at the card, looked like a pretty stacked card. And then ultimately, when you look back at it, the show was really, really bad. You kick off with this Ultimate X match for the X Division title. You have Sabin, you have Manic, you have Aries, you have Hardy, and you have Samoa Joe. All 5 of them. And this might be the worst Ultimate X match I've ever watched. It was very slow-paced, which is not what an Ultimate X match should be. And you ultimately ended the goddamn match, eliminating the entire purpose of the match by having Chris Sabin use a goddamn ladder to grab the championship. What is the purpose of the Ultimate X match? It is to use the freaking cables on top of the ring, and you use a goddamn ladder, eliminating the entire purpose of the match, eliminating the entire flow, and eliminating any interest at all in this goddamn match. This match was bad. And the ending just reeked of awful. Then you get to this tag team match, the Bromans with fucking Phil Heath, whoever the hell that is, defeating Gunner and James Storm. This match was what it was. I personally didn't think the Bromans should have won the TNA Tag Team Championships, but then again, I don't care enough about TNA to rant about it for like an hour. Then you get this triple threat between Gail Kim, ODB, and Brooke for the Knockouts title. And ultimately, it leads to the debut of Lady Tapa, who's probably one of the worst women wrestlers I've ever seen in my life. And this match was one of the worst Knockouts matches I've ever seen in my life. Oh my god, TNA. I think that when it comes to the best match on the show, a lot of people are ultimately going to point to the main event, but I think Bobby Roode versus Kurt Angle did deliver until the finish. You know, Bobby Roode and Kurt Angle, for me, had good in-ring chemistry almost all the time. But, you know, you had Kurt Angle do that stupid shit in the beginning of the show when he denied entry into the Hall of Fame because he wanted to prove himself worthy. How does that make sense when you've been wrestling since 1999, you've won an Olympic gold medalist, which is what no other wrestler has done before, you've won multiple world championships, you are a glorified Hall of Famer immediately, and you're not worthy? Does that make any sense at all? And then you try to make Kurt Angle look like this fucking sympathetic babyface, and it falls flat on its face. If there's one person you don't want looking like a sympathetic babyface, it's Kurt Angle. My god, that was awful. And this finish was awful. Like, honestly, just have Bobby Roode win clean. Why does Bobby Roode need to win via knockout? Oh, Kurt Angle couldn't get back to his feet. Oh, and what makes this even worse? He's the one that did the goddamn move! He performed the Angle Slam from the top rope, which is something he does in every big match, and all of a sudden it knocks him out? What kind kind of sense does that make? He's the one that performed the move. And it knocked him out. This match had a potential, excuse me, to be the match of the night. That honor ultimately fell to AJ Styles and Bully Ray. This match should have been something great, and it turned into something very, very bad. Then you get to my favorite. I'm laughing because of what's going on next. I'm laughing because the next match was EC3 versus was EC3 versus Noah Furnham. Noah Furnham. Who the hell is that? I can never forget Taz's reaction to that. But ultimately, this match was designed to do one thing. It was to put EC3 over, to try to start to establish him, and that's what it did. So I don't really care. Then you get to Magnus versus Sting, and like I said, the EC3 match was designed to do one thing, and so was this match. It was to put Magnus over. However, they did a really shitty job in doing that. You know, this match was not what I expected it to be, and I know Sting isn't really in the best shape, and I know he's working with this young, hungry kid in Magnus, and it's not going to be a great match by any means, but I don't even think this match qualifies as a solid match or an okay match. This match was bad. And Magnus going over Sting here, went over like a fart in church. It was bad. The crowd just was dead. And you look back at the pictures of that crowd, where the other half of the arena is empty, and the one half that has people in it is barely full, you can tell why the crowd was dead. Honestly, one of TNA's biggest problems from the get-go was that they do not promote their product. And because of that, their attendance lacks. Every time they go on the road, which is what they tried to do in 2013, they tried to take Impact on the road, they got out of the Impact zone, and you cannot get good attendances if you do not promote your product. And you also cannot get good attendances when you book these big arenas that you know are not going to sell out. And because of that, the crowd loses its natural appearance. It loses everything. And because of that, you have to edit the crowd volume so it sounds like the crowd's actually into it, even though they're not. I mean, honestly, TNA's biggest problem, or one of TNA's biggest problems, because they have many, one of their biggest problems was always promoting their product. How fucking easy is that? A billboard can go a long way. One billboard. That's all you need. Put it in the city that the freaking pay-per-view takes place. How hard is that? Do freaking advertisements on TV, not just on Spike TV, but on other networks. Actually make an effort to promote your product. This freaking crowd, this is your biggest show of the year, and half of your crowd is gone, and the other half of your crowd, let me rephrase that. Half of the arena is empty. The other half is barely full. There were empty seats in the lower deck. How sad is that? It was like back at WrestleMania 31 last year. You know WWE fucked up when there were empty seats on the floor. TNA, just, my God. A billboard can go a long way, TNA. And this crowd was bad. But ultimately, the match of the night was AJ Styles versus Bully Ray, no DQ, for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And what WWE did not do with CM Punk is everything that TNA did with AJ Styles. You know, you had AJ face Bully Ray. You had him, walk out on Dixie. You did everything that the WWE didn't do. The only problem was You know, AJ Styles was legitimately leaving. CM Punk came back a week later. And AJ Styles, you know, what makes this entire storyline meaningless is that he actually left. Literally, the match when he came back was his last match in TNA. And then he was gone. Forever. And it's really sad. Because this storyline was everything that walkout storyline in WWE wasn't. It was actually enjoyable to watch. And this match was enjoyable to watch. And now it means nothing. Because TNA lost AJ Styles in real life. And AJ Styles, he was doing it for the fans. He was standing up for the fans. And then he leaves the company legit. Now, looking at TNA's issues, I understand why. But this just makes this match, seem meaningless. It sucks. Because this was the best match of the night by far. And ultimately, this pay-per-view gave them one more chance. This pay-per-view failed me. And I have not paid attention to TNA since. For good reasons. Because it seems like when opportunity is staring at them in the face, they blow it. They make such rookie mistakes. They have been around for 14 years. They don't promote their product. They still emphasize the old guys. They keep doing stupid booking. They are run by a clueless owner. They have a fan base that's lacking. That's just 5 things right off the bat that I thought of in under a minute. They have a stupid television deal. TNA Bound for Glory 2013 was a pretty colossal waste of time and a disgrace to what a big show is supposed to be. A big show doesn't involve half of the audience missing. A big show involves something memorable, and this show delivered none of that.